Welcome back. This is part 17 of restoring this 1915 Massey steam hammer. In the last episode, we got it running really nicely. Big improvements to how it runs, and we were even able to get some hot steel between the dies for the first time in who knows how long. For this machine. I was very impressed with how the machine ran, especially with its fine control. Oh, it just made me so excited. And I'm positively giddy about the idea of getting this thing to run on steam how it was originally designed to. That is the end goal. But as nice as it did run when we tried it last time, there are still improvements to be made, and a lot of very important things I need to do to it before it can be hooked up to steam. Before I left the workshop at the end of the last video, I put some blue tape on the important areas to tackle. This bit of the linkage needs to be dolled up and prettied. We need cotter pins, and for the 1000th time, I gotta keep messing with this rear valve. Your feedback in the comments has helped me put the puzzle pieces together about one of the issues here, and it's that rear valve, the throttle valve, isn't properly restricting the airflow. In the last episode, I made a better fixing solution for it, but I think the result of that fixing solution is that within that valve body, the valve itself is a little bit set back, not establishing a proper seal with the bore, so air is able to escape through the gap, not giving us the opportunity to properly regulate the amount of air that goes to our control valve. I think this is the solution to our problems. So one of the ideas that a few of you pointed out in the comments is that this valve piece should actually be able to move, so that when air or steam is pushed into that bore of the valve, it shoves this valve hard against that opposite face, creating a seal. And then if there's any sticking because of lack of concentricity, hopefully that'll be overcome by this simply sliding back however far it needs to, but still retaining as firmly pushed against that inside wall as possible. So what I'm gonna do is replace these screws with screws that are a little bit longer, so they bind at the bottom of the threaded hole, which will hopefully keep this valve retained lengthwise, but will keep it loose and not pinned to the shaft. Switch this out for that. Unfortunately, I milled slots in these holes, so that there was forwards and backwards movement allowed. Okay, it's still a little bit long. Grind them down, and then I'll put some Loctite in. How will I know if these modifications have helped it or have made it worse? Well, my hope is, leaving our linkage disconnected from the valve, we can start to notice a difference in the noise that's coming out of the exhaust based on how I rotate this. We should be able to find a closed setting where air is only getting through from that tiny little hole that we intentionally put in the valve. So it should be pretty quiet right about here, and then it should get louder as we twist it down. Oh my gosh, it's really sticky now. Ugh. Because the air pressure is pinning the valve to the wall, it is now absolutely rock solid and next to impossible to rotate. There is enough leverage through the linkage to be able to twist the valve, even though I can't twist it by hand, which means, let me take a pin out, and maybe with the air shut off, I'm gonna turn the position of that. Oh, there we go. So in this position, that valve is more closed than at any other time. Let's chug that on there. About 5.2 degrees. I need to pull this shaft up. That could do it. All right, let's put the pin in, see how she sounds. Very strange. I don't think I'm getting the sealing that I thought we would get from there. And I'm at a bit of a loss to whether it has anything to do with this adjustment I've been fiddling with. Maybe it does. All right, let's go a little bit tighter. That feels pretty quiet, right? Bloody hell. Maybe my valve isn't good enough. Maybe I shouldn't put that hole in the valve. Just got no bloomin' clue. Oh, yes! Okay, so there's some stickage. That's good. The fact that pushing up there revealed some stickage, maybe lack of force from that spring, that tells me that though, when I take this pin out, and I've been fiddling with it, I've been putting it to the most closed position, perhaps the stickage in this linkage stopping it from being high enough. Bloody hell! Good Lord! Again! It's just not bloody returning. This whole new valve arrangement makes the whole machine a lot stickier than it was. It felt a lot looser the other day, so maybe All the benefits of having a good valve are for naught. This can be an additional problem causing the binding. This lever and this U don't line up perfectly when they're not attached. Ah, interesting. The whole valve just walked in. Yeah, it's working its way out. Found a blooming problem, everybody. This is a big problem. Look at that Sharpie mark on that shaft, all right? Open up the power. Then as I turn the handle, that mark has worked its way out about 5 millimeters. And that is surely gonna provide some inconsistencies and variables that we didn't predict and can't predict. Because that shaft goes all the way across to here and kind of plugs up this outlet that goes to the, the cylinder damper. And I could see that confusing things. So I must make sure I find a way to hold that shaft captive. I don't know why it's moving out. It shouldn't be. It might be an issue with my gland packing and how that's all assembled because it's already been in and out a few times. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this off again, completely remove the packing and reinstall the packing to make sure that this collar, this is the old one, the original, is sitting up against the constriction in this collar correctly. Found the issue. Remember, there's a little bit of bronze in here. It's still there right now. But when the graphite packing goes in, we push against the bit of bronze that's inside there. The bit of bronze is sized such that this can still move the exact amount it was moving when in the power hammer, even when the bronze is being pushed. So I need to cut the bronze down. Well, first I've got to get the bronze out. Yeah, you see, that's the blooming issue. Once I cut that down, we can have the bronze hold this shaft captive once the packing pushes on it. All right, drop that in there. There we go. That is what we need. Now we can shove the gland packing back in, reassemble it, and hopefully that'll stop some of our binding issues with the linkage. Much better! All right, after an entire morning of fiddling with this rear valve, I've got it as good as I can get it at the moment. So we're now going to refiddle with our front control valve. And this is gonna get the ram cycling. Lift her all the way up, shall we? Whoa, I like that. Yeah! Oh yeah! So we're putting a lot of time and effort into getting this power hammer running as good as possible so that we can enjoy it to the fullest extent. But you know what I really don't enjoy? I don't enjoy when my underwear is bunching up and I gotta spend time and effort every 5 minutes rearranging. Nobody likes that, and neither do you. But we don't have to be stuck in the past with itchy, uncomfortable, unbreathable underwear, and that's because of today's sponsor, MeUndies. They have an incredible range of micromodal fabric underwear in all styles imaginable. The micromodal fabric has the perfect amount of stretch to it, is lightweight, and most importantly, is breathable. So no matter the physical activity you got going on or how hard your day is in the workshop, you're gonna be so much comfier and happier to be in MeUndies. One of their products I love is their underwear with the unique ball caddy feature. You'd be shocked at how comfortable it is to slot your chestnuts inside of that thing and completely eliminate the slack thigh stickage we all hate. I'm thrilled that I've been able to upgrade my wardrobe to MeUndies underwear the last few months, and I hope you do the same by going to my link in the description. Go to meundies.com/forge and use promo code FORGE, where you're gonna get 20% off your first order and free shipping. That's meundies.com/forge. I'm a big fan, and I think you will be too. All right, the job of the day this morning is I want to put a base underneath it. An actual base, not just some very dangerous bits of loose wood. This particular base I want to think of as kind of temporary, and one of the considerations for it is I actually want it to be quite lightweight, which is very counterintuitive until you remember, but there's a good chance I'm going to need to transport this machine somewhere to be able to hook it up to steam, and the lighter it is, the easier it's going to be to move around. I also don't want to actually raise the hammer up to a nice, useful working height. I want it as low as possible, just allowing us to use the treadle, but as low as possible to keep the center of gravity down for that inevitable transport. So it's a temporary base we need. Boom, so this is the underside of the base, and as you can see, we have a corresponding cutout for a toe jack, because I firmly believe that every single machine should be designed, and if it's not, its base should be designed so that you can fit a crowbar, and even better, a toe jack underneath it, so you can easily lift it up off the ground. I don't know why you don't see it more. Ooh, yeah! Beautiful! We found the weight at which a bit of 30mm bar bends. That's terrifying. No idea if it's working. Right, we got it sitting on its new temporary base. What I've also done is I've taken apart the lubricator, the oil pump, again. I still wasn't happy with its performance, and I have gone ahead and replaced the corroded ball bearings that are a part of its pumping operation with brand new ones, and hopefully that gives us the performance that we would like from it. And so now what I'm going to do is we are going to fire it up one more time to make sure that this runs as sweetly as it possibly can before we go and take it to steam. Today's the day, it's go time. Let's get this on steam. She's flying. We're back at the Whitwell and Reatham Railway, as you can see, joined by Ben again.
Right.
I'm very grateful that we've been allowed to come here to hook this thing up to steam. So what's the plan? What you got going? This isn't a steam engine.
No, this is one of our volunteers' diesels. He privately owns this. Because it's just so easy to start up and run, we're just going to use it for this simple shunt move.
Okay, so you're going to drive this up there.
So we're going to drag
that track.
Drag the steam engine onto the pit.
Okay.
Have a look underneath, because then that's the checks all done we need to do. And then once we've done that, we'll put it into position.
Okay, we've got to do a little move around. Today is the setup day. We're not planning on running the steam hammer today.
No.
We're just planning on getting everything hooked together and good to go. There might even be some machining to do.
Possibly, yes.
All right, let's get to it. Oh, they're spinning.
Everything's all right. We're good to go.
We're good to go. How do we get this thing hooked up?
So, that's the bit.
Okay, so you've made an adapter.
Because that's a funny size, steam engine size, which goes into inch and a half BSP, we've had to make an adapter. Also, that's coming off this is a feed for one of our injectors. We need 2 injectors, we can't just blank it off, unfortunately. So, the bit of machine you said earlier, we're gonna have to find out where to drill the hole, because I made this on the weekend, so here we are, and go from there.
Grand. And where is this gonna connect? Because basically, we're gonna come out of here, all the way up to our steam inlet.
Yeah.
Where does this go inside the engine?
This is symmetrical both sides, so there would be another one of these valves here. But what we've done is we've taken this off so we can have this port.
With your new fitting?
With the new fitting. Hopefully it'll all fit together. I haven't tried this yet, so.
So I see this is where you need a hole. So what you've got to do is thread this in, line it up, and then put a hole in to match that. Just a small spanner?
Just a small spanner.
Alex, why did you call it a spanner? You call those things a wrench.
Oh, whoopsie. I don't know what I call these things anymore.
See, this actually has me confused. That spanner is so big that I would almost be tempted to call it a wrench. It's that big.
This is an ongoing debate, isn't it? Next marks the spot. To the workshop. Look at all the wrenches they've got. Whoa, Christ alive, that got close. Go see if it all works. Just for visual reference, this is the adapter you just made that goes into here, and then there's going to be a nipple that goes between here and here.
With a valve in the middle.
Oh, okay. Ignore me, I shouldn't be explaining things. All right, let's start off. Let's just start off with this. Okie doke. Up she goes. Oh, straight to it. We've got everything all plumbed up and connected to the steam engine. All we've got to do is wait till the morning to get it fired up. All right, it's 10:40 in the morning. Ben's been here since about 7. It feels hot here. What do we have on the dial?
So we've got £100 on the clock.
Yes, that means it's time. We're gonna put some steam through the valves of the hammer, get it a little bit warm.
Try it and find out.
Oh yeah. Just a touch, like that maybe?
Yeah, that'll do. Just
right.
let that settle.
Let's get to the hammer.
The urge to shout bang then was...
Let's let a little bit through, eh?
Oh. There it comes.
Wow. Jamie, I wonder for how many decades this hammer has not seen steam. Could have been 70 years since this thing has had steam run through it. Wow. Hello.
And there's the condensate.
Right, let's get the forge hot. Woo! Right, she's plenty hot, so we'll give her a try and I'll let you know if I want more pressure. Sound good? Woo! She's up! Woo! Oh yeah. Yeah, baby! Beautiful. Oh wow, look at all the leakage. That's so funny. Obviously we don't see it. We didn't see any of that with the compressed air. It's leaking everywhere. And it doesn't look like we lost anything off the boiler pressure, which is great. It means that we are gonna have plenty of steam. What do we have first? Just a little bit of 3/4 inch round bar to start. All right, let's see what's come out of here after its first test, eh? Whoa, delightful. What? Oh my goodness. Jamie, we just lost something, quite a crucial component of our machine up here, actually. I don't know why it timed so good. Look, this fell off. That fell off my gland. 3/4 inch bar under the Massey steam hammer, under steam. Let's do it. Woo! Yeah! That is so cool. That is so cool. That is freaking wild. It started off a little bit slow, but then I don't know what happened. It just opened up and it got so much power. And it definitely feels like it's got some extra squeeze in the blow. That was bloody good. When this thing got warm, oh, she flew. But there's something wrong with the timing. I'm not able to let the ram park up just off this treadle. So I think what I gotta do is I have to adjust my control valve a little bit and orient it downwards just a little bit so we get more steam in the bottom of the cylinder than the top. Woo! Twist this. So I've shortened that a little bit. Try. Oh, better. Oh yeah, it's close. I want that to park up at the top there though. Here we go. Wow. Oh my God, Jamie, this is so much livelier than on air. Look at how high up the ram goes with the single bug. We never experienced this on air. This ram is now traveling higher up with every stroke. Ow, that's boiling hot water. It's traveling higher up with every stroke than we ever saw when we were running it on compressed air. And you hear the knock. The knock is actually the piston striking the steam buffer that we have up top. I believe that's there to just take away some of that impact when it strikes the head of the cylinder. Ben, do you want to have a little go?
I think it'd be rude not to.
Go on, come have a little go. First time forging steel?
Yes.
Ever?
Ever.
This is one hell of a way to do it. Look at the amount of water coming through there. Oh, beautiful.
Flat.
Oh yeah,
It's flat.
she's running like an absolute dream. I mean, this is such a privilege to be able to run this on actual steam off of this incredible steam engine. Please guys, if you find yourself in Norfolk, come check out the Whitwell and Reatham Railway. This is an amazing place. I'm so grateful that they've let us do this. This Here's some 2-inch round mild steel. Let's see how the hammer copes. Oh, that is a bit violent on the top of that stroke, eh? I'm gonna adjust this some more because it's now striking the top of the cylinder a little bit more than I'd like. See how much water is condensated into here in 2 heats. Wow. And now, of course, this wouldn't be a proper test of the power hammer if we didn't make up a billet of Damascus. So we've got a chunky one, 15N20, 1080 steel. We're going to weld it and see how it compares, because this is going to be one of the best metrics I have for how this compares to our existing power hammers, the Stanko and the Bernsdorfer in the workshop. Let's see how she does. I love it. Wow! That is a lot of metal moving in one heat. I am, and have been, debating for the last many months about whether I keep this machine or whether I sell it. Keeping it requires significant expense and difficulty to have it set up and operating it, but by God, this is unique. And this is...
You buy a bloody train, don't you?
Definitely can't buy a train, but air compressor and a big receiver tank. This thing is so special. I think we have to keep it. We have to keep it running. We have to be able to keep seeing what the history of all that's possible with steel and materials is. And it's from equipment like this, built by hand a long time ago. I mean, this, to me, is probably just as special as this beautiful Agecroft number 3 is to Ben. It's special, and you spent such a long amount, a big period of your life restoring it and getting it up and running. And this is a piece of functioning history right there. We've got to keep it. Alrighty, that's a wrap. Well, folks, an enormous thank you is owed to the Whitwell and Reefham Railway, and especially to Ben. Thank you so much
You're very welcome.
for taking time to help us out and get this thing done, and for all your help over this process. This is just unbelievably special, and I appreciate you all following along on this journey. As ever, check out today's sponsor. The link is down below. Bye-bye. Hang on a sec. We can't end the video yet. We haven't heard the steam whistle. Oh yeah, now we can end it.